We miss Kevin Samuels. We miss Kevin Samuels. Fellas, make sure you put some cranberry juice in your life. Cranberry juice, apples, celery, oranges, blueberries. Make sure you get some of that in your life. And I always have time for a beer. Oh man. These days, it's one of the things we talk about these days. Let me do this. Let me make sure I share this. Hey, Sadie, can you make me a model on here too? Yeah, sure, baby. On my other channel, I literally unblocked like 300 people yesterday. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of you. All right, man. Yeah, there was a video. Shout out my guy O'Shea Duke Jackson. I've been looking at some videos he be doing, and I'll go ahead and deem it very interesting, and then get my own spin on it. Kira the Menace was thugging with a lady. It's one of the Austin, Texas. Shout out. One of the more interesting things, right? Where hold on. And I want y'all to understand by me pausing and stuff like that, like I'm literally going through my phone, sharing this on my other profile. We just hit 4,000 subs over here, bro. I appreciate you guys for real, for real. Oh man, I really do. In all candor, like this has been dope, freaking dope. So that's what I'm gonna do. Boom. I would like to read for you guys a very interesting article. One, because I know how to read. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, nah, I built this channel with the sole purpose of surpassing the other channel and then basically selling that other channel. So, and trust me, how we doing is way better than a lot of people. One of the more interesting things that has happened, right, is oh, if that picture ever came out, they gonna be like, oh, you hated us. Salute. Appreciate that. All right. I'm getting ready to start this stuff. All right, real quick. Now, this the Alpha Army over here. Alpha Army over here, bro. Real quick, man. You're going to be in for a treat. Now, let me tell you something real quick before we get started. I hope your weekend is planned to go great. I hope you do dope things today. But if you don't, you're going to be all right. Just been having a conversation. And it's crazy because the theme of the conversation with the majority of people I've been having is we're all going through something. You're either in a problem, headed towards a problem, or just now getting out of a problem. But in the end, you're going to be all right. I promise you. It may seem crazy, it may seem terrible, but you're going to be all right. I said today on Instagram, I said we're all victims of success, mostly the wrong kind. Meaning, we're victims sometimes of some BS and being successful and stepping in more BS. It just is what it is. But to the premise of the show, let's get it started. Most women. Here we go. This is from newsnationnow.com. Most young men are single. Most women, most young women are not. Pardon me. The Hill. More than 60% of young men are single, nearly twice the rate of unattached young women, signaling a larger breakdown in social, romantic, and sexual life of the American male, according to a survey from Pew Research Center. Men in their 20s are more likely than women in their 20s to be romantically uninvolved, sexually dormant, friendless, and lonely. They stand in the vanguard of an epidemic of declining marriage, sexuality, and relationships that affect all of young America. Mm. We're in a crisis of connection, said Niobe Way, a psychology professor and founder of the Project of the Advancement of Our Common Humanity at New York University. Disconnection from ourselves and disconnection from each other. And it's getting worse. Thousands of flights canceled as winter storm slid. Oh, that's a. Just put this stupid thing on. In a worst case scenario, the young man's social disconnect can have tragic consequences. Young men commit suicide at 4 times the rate of young women. Younger men are largely responsible for rising rates of mass shootings, a trend some researchers link to their growing social isolation. Societal changes that began in the Eisenhower years have eroded the patriarchy that once ruled American homes, classrooms, and workplaces. Women now collect nearly 60% of bachelor degrees. Men still earn more, but amongst the youngest adults, the income gap has narrowed to 43 a week. Scholars say the new era of gender parity has reshaped relationship dynamics, empowering young women and, in many cases, removing young men from the equation. Women don't need to be in a long-term relationship. They don't need to be married. They'd rather go to a brunch with friends than have a horrible date, said Greg Matos, a couple and a family psychologist in Los Angeles who recently penned a viral article titled, "What's Behind the Rise of Single Lonely Men?" Recent years have seen a historic rise in unpartnered Americans, particularly among the young. The pandemic made things worse. As of 2022, Pew Research Center found that 30% of U.S. adults are neither married, living with a partner, nor engaged in a committed relationship. Nearly half of all young adults are single, 34% of women, and a whopping 63% of men. Not surprising, the decline in relationship marches astride with the decline in sex. The share of sexually active Americans stands at a 30-year low. Around 30% of young men reported in 2019 that they had no sex in the past year, compared to 20% of young women. Only half of single men are actively seeking relationships or even casual dates, according to Pew. That figure is declining. You have to think that the pandemic had an impact on some of those numbers, said Fred. I don't know how to say this shit, but I'm going to try. Rabinowitz, a psychologist and professor at the University of Redlands who studies masculinity. Young men, he said, are watching a lot of social media. They're watching a lot of porn. And I think they're getting their needs met without having to go out. And I think that's starting to be a habit. Even seasoned researchers struggle to fully account for the relationship gap between young women and men. If single young men outnumber young women nearly 2 to 1, then who are all the young women dating? Some of them are dating each other. 1/5 of Generation Z identifies as queer. That's still not a large ass number. And researchers suggest bisexual women make up a large share of young adult queer community. So, whatever. I'm not even going to try to. Yeah. Young women are also dating and marrying slightly older men, carrying on a tradition that stretches back to more than a century. The average age at first marriage is around 30 for men, 28 for women, according to census figures. Heterosexual men are getting more choosy. Women don't want to marry down to form a long-term relationship to a man with less education and earnings than herself, said Ronald Levant, professor at Emeritus. I don't know how to say that. Emeritus of Psychology at University of Akron, and author of several books on masculinity. Spare me. In previous generations, young women entered adulthood in a society that expected them to find a financially stable man who would support them through decades of marriage and motherhood over the 1950s and 1960s. That pattern gradually broke down, and today it is all but gone. Women are tiring of their stereotypical role as full time therapists for emotionally distant men. Hmm. They want a partner who is emotionally open and empathetic, the opposite of old age, the masculine ideal. Today in America, women expect more from men, Levant said, and unfortunately, so many men don't have more to give. The same emotional deficits that hurt men in the dating pool also hamper them from forming meaningful relationships and even friendships. 15% of men report having no close friendships, a five-fold increase from 1990, according to researchers by the Survey Center on American Life. Men are less naturally relational than women, said Richard Reeves, a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, whose new book of Boys and Men has drawn wide praise. I wonder why. Reeves points to a recent Saturday Night Live sketch reimagined the neighborhood dog part as a man part, poking fun this reliance of men on women to do the emotional lifting for them. Social circles have also been shrinking for men and women, especially since the pandemic, but men struggle more. 30 years ago, 55% of men reported having six or more close friends. By 2021, that share had slipped to 27%. Women form friendships with each other that are emotionally intimate, whereas men do not, Levant said. Young women may not be dating, but they do have girlfriends they spend time and gain emotional support from. Aaron Caro and Matt Ritter, both in their early 40s, studied the male friendship recession in their Man of the Year podcast. It arose out of an annual tradition of gathering at a steakhouse with several male friends, all close since elementary school. Guys are taught to prioritize career, Carl said, also romantic relationships, although it doesn't seem like they're doing a very good job at that. Making friends and keeping friends seems to be at lower priority. And once guys get older, they suddenly realize they have no friends. The podcasters and their friends created the annual gathering as a way to keep their friendship alive. It spawned a year-round group chat and a Man of the Year trophy awarded to the most deserving friend at the annual dinner. We treat friendship as a luxury, especially with our friends. It's a necessity. Bullshit. Yeah. Let me tell you, it ain't the porn. Because if it was the porn, can I ask you this simple question? Don't women have a bevy of toys? And then it's funny how they contradict themselves in that article. They said women are having less relationships. Word. But you said it's a 2-to-1. So women are actually getting in relationships. Don't believe the hype. Women have learned, hey man, I want to be serious in my relationship. Hey man, I want to be serious in my relationship. This man at this age ain't doing that. Let me tell y'all something. What really happened? The game got exposed. It used to be, hey, go pick her up, go take her to dinner, and go take her on a couple of dates, and then see if she actually likes you. Go pick her up. That's gas money. Go take her on a date. That's about $50. And then continuously do this whole entire thing. When they say men don't form relationships and everything like that, I'm going to be honest, even though I'm not a part of that community, what's up with the gaming community? See, they never talked about their online friends, but they said the Pew Research Center. Let me do it this way. The funniest thing about this whole entire article is that, one, the Pew Research Center literally looks like, I'm just going to keep it authentic, fodder for whatever's trendy. On one hand, they said women don't want men who are uneducated and not making money. Well, the problem with women who say that, the women who say that, obviously all women don't say that because they can't be that goddamn stupid, is trades will always make more money than your dumbass degree. They never talked about it. They just said bachelor degrees. Don't it take just 2 years to get a bachelor degree? All right, let's take it a step further. Let's slide to the left. If she has a bachelor degree and she literally doesn't make as much money as you do, who's the fool? I'm trying to understand this part. Who's the goddamn fool here? Who's the idiot here? Who's stupid here? If you paying all this money for a damn near useless degree, because they never tell you what the degrees are typically in, they're typically in social work. You gotta be some type of dumbass to say that this man actually is smart enough to avoid having to pay all of these student loans back, because they typically come with student loans. On top of everything they said on that, they said men are choosing porn. I'm curious. Are there more women on OnlyFans doing porn? Because nudity is a form of porn? Or are there more men on OnlyFans doing porn? All right, all right, all right. Do we typically see a lot of new faces when they're doing porn and stuff like that? The new lady, the new porn lady on the block, still getting smashed by the same old ass dudes. Ron Jeremy is still throwing his dick around, I'm assuming. How old is he? I think Cuz got to be like 70 something years old. They contradict themselves in that stupid ass report to say that 2 to 1. Let me tell you something. You want to know one of the biggest reasons why a lot of men are single? Because they're deciding to do what the hell y'all say. They took the cue from women. I can guarantee you, the teenage boy, the 19, the 18-year-old, they were trying to get into meaningful relationships when they were younger. I was one of them. The problem is she wasn't as serious as she pretended. So you know what I did? I went and hopped my jolly ass up, started playing in my 20s. All I did was just get my rocks off, develop some type of friendships with some women, but I never got into a relationship. Never. And as they got older, they started getting 26 and 27 and start trying to get me to settle down. I'm sorry, baby. You taught me to life. You said I'm too young to be doing this. I'm too young to be doing that. So that's what I did. I went and I worked. I turned all these things into clubbing, into working, and even gangbanging. I really don't want to bring up the gang part on here. This is a whole different channel. So ripping and running the streets in every way that I could compete. Those things. But let me tell you something that never happened. I never went back and said, there's no hope. There's not a woman out here for me. The men are choosing not to deal with a lot of women because, unfortunately, the narrative that is being pushed is girls just want to have fun. Look at the trips that they take. Look at all this stuff. They always talk about, I don't want no scrub. This man has to pay. When they're talking about all this stuff, they started talking about how men are only out earning women by $46 a week. So let's do the math on that. 46 times 52 equals 2,392. So really what you're really trying to say is men are damn near earning $2,400 more a year, but y'all don't want to say that because they took the cue from the women. They talked about the 1950s and the 1960s shift. You know what also happened? The grandmother got disrespected because anybody's goddamn granddaddy around the way, somebody else, not yours, somebody whack ass granddaddy was over there sleeping around and everything like that. That's cool. But you want to know what also got exposed? How trifling a lot of women were too. Sometimes what would happen is, hey, your cousin, he kind of look like you. Whoa. Your cousin. Turns out your cousin was your brother or your sister. And now you're looking like, what the hell? But that wasn't everybody. And that's what's being painted. You had some dumbass brides come out and say Dr. Martin Luther King was cheating on his wife when it was clear that that was put out by the FBI, the same FBI that called Martin Luther King the most dangerous man in America. They called that man gay and they said that he cheated on his wife. Those were two things in church society that were no-nos. See what I'm saying? So they spread their bullshit all around and it never stuck. And then you have brides who run around on the internet sucking dick, and that's cool. That's your thing. That's your prerogative. Lying to these dumbass women who don't ever read shit except for a manual or what they need to read as prerequisites or co-requisites for these lame ass college courses. But it's amazing how they say they don't want to be up under a man. But more than likely, they'll go show up to that man who they work for and put on their best behavior. They'll go show up to that man at work that's right by there and make him a work husband. They'll go show up to that man who keeps on being a friend that keeps on bailing them out. You don't think other men see that shit and go, I'm cool. Baby, that touchdown you trying to throw over here, I'm going to Champ Bailey that shit. Y'all, no. Fellas, let me ask you something. Every guy up in here, and I'll read every single one. What is the benefit of dating today? What's the benefit? If the first thing you say is sexual, we're not talking about that. So what's the benefit? See, the thing is, nobody ever sat down a group of men and asked them what they thought. They got a whole bunch of lame ass dudes who somehow always had a book to sell. Y'all ever find this shit interesting? That's why I don't like conspiracy theories and everything like that. Look, none, I don't know, scam, none unless you know how to cook, child support, none. These are real ass answers. I could get a goddamn camera and walk up to a bunch of men and ask them, hey, bro, besides sex, I make sure to take sex out of it. Besides sex, what's the benefit of dating? But see, they never asked the men. It was a lot of women answering this shit, and then men with books. Oh, his widely praised book of men or lames or whatever the hell and everything like that. The pick me men. The pick me men. The men who sit up here don't know shit about nothing. Ain't been out in the field, don't know what type of anything. Like, man, I'm guaranteeing you, these dudes had to be like over 50 years old. They don't have any type of relationships with those young dudes to understand where they coming from. With the right one, there's always potential for some sort of happiness. Define happiness. Happiness is too broad of a word. I need to understand what the hell happiness means. None. Nobody really wants to build. They want you to work for them. They want you to fund their dreams. That's one of the things that I found interesting, right? There was, I don't know who I say cat, who called Anthony Towns as dating, right? But I remember seeing a tweet of hers saying, thank you, baby, for the funding for my business. She said, my business, not our business. She said, my business, which means if it ends, it's hers. Do you think that his ass is in there on any type of ownership? Do you think this bride ever grabbed a rebound for him while he's shooting jump shots at 6 o'clock in the morning? Do you think she helped him with any training, conditioning, or anything like that with this NBA player? A lot of women do this lame ass stuff where they will think because they were an NBA player and they just so happen to be there that ultimately contributed something. Let me tell y'all something. With no disrespect to LeBron James' wife, Savannah, she had nothing to do with his success. This man was already on covers for basketball in Ohio at 13 years old. Was she fucking and sucking him then? Because if she wasn't, then she can't say she contributed anything. Let me see something. Carl Anthony Towns, girlfriend business loan. I don't even say. All right, Jordan Woods. Carl Anthony Towns gave his girlfriend of more than 2 years the latter for her special day. Jordan Woods recently turned 25, and to celebrate, her boyfriend gifted her funding for any two businesses she chose to start. Now, watch this. Uh, Jordan Woods. Thanks, Carl Anthony Towns. Nah, that's not That's crazy. They even took it down. Yeah. Thank you, babe, for the business. Basically. That's all that was. Thank you, babe, for the business. So he gifted her two businesses, a multi-millionaire. I think he didn't sign like $100 million contract. She's worth $6 million. He's worth let me see. Carl Anthony Towns' net worth.
According to Wealthy Gorilla, Towns were named to the Dominican Republic national team as a 16-year-old. As of March 2023, Carl Anthony Towns' net worth is roughly $9 million.
Nah, what the fuck? Exactly. Nah. That's somebody else. That ain't that nigga. This nigga worth what? 33 million? All right, here we go. He signed another extension in 2022 worth 4 years and 224 million. He will make 33 million of that in 2022 through 2023 and has a player option of $62 million from Forbes. Thank you. Because I'm like, bruh, what the fuck? This nigga is not. I didn't even mean to say that. This dude is not literally in the NBA as one of the top big men, top 10 big men, only making $9 million a freaking year. I'm sorry. That ain't happening. That's a cat. The goal is finding a real good woman. The problem with that is we don't have the ability anymore to vet the real good women. It used to be one of these things where, but we'll do it here. I guarantee you that. We always have the ability or had the ability to go certain places and basically pursue a woman. Your religious sectors, your local grocery market, the mall, all of these things, right? But then what ends up happening is the shame of the man starts to happen, right? There's these women who are going around in the gym and stuff like that. It's being more exposed now because I think it's falling off and stuff like that. Even though I've never seen it personally, been in the gym a bunch of times, not as of late, but they're doing this thing where men are working out and they're taking all these weird poses and all this stuff and everything like that. Men look. We look. Women look. Y'all look. Some of y'all look in admiration. Some of y'all look in disgust. But everybody looks. When I walk into a room, damn near everybody look at me. I notice it just don't affect me anymore. And some of y'all, you're a man, you're a big man, and all this stuff and everything like that. They probably think you like some football player and stuff like that. I get it. I get it. I get it. Cool. But what about the women? Got these women doing these weird poses and bending over and stuff damn near in front of men to get him to look. Yeah, he's going to look. He's going to have to look. He's going to see, damn, she works out. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. And then it'd be funny because some of the times, and I'll be one of the one men who will say this. If I'm staring at a woman, I ain't gonna hold you. Besides like a nice smile, if I'm really gonna stare you down, I'd be curious how your calves look. I don't know. I got a weird fascination with calves. It just is what it is. I don't want a woman to like kick me or like back kick me or put her calf on my face or nothing like that. But I don't know. I assume and maybe it's just a basketball player in me. Oh, she got calves, bro. I wonder if she got a jump shot. Man, I wonder if we can go to the court and real quick and go make some money real quick. I'll be on some hustler shit. I ain't gonna hold you personally. But I've always been a person who admires calves. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I think psychologically it's the basketball player in me that just likes calves, bro. But if a man is checking you out, as long as he ain't like this, ooh, ooh, oh, oh my gosh, ooh, shit, ooh, oh, 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 like doing shit like that. What's wrong with that? I'm just curious. I'm curious, ladies. What's wrong with a man looking at you at the gym? If you were so self-conscious about your looks and all that, then why the hell are you in a public space? I could have sworn, and maybe because I ain't been to the gym in like 3 months, maybe they moved everything. Maybe the treadmills ain't like this close side by side. Maybe that's not the case anymore. Possibly. I don't know these days. But what I do know is this. If we continue on the path of doing this thing of so-called man bashing for men being who they are any goddamn ways, it's not going to end well. You're going to get stupid stuff where these guys who, this one dude, I think he was playing, but I think he kind of was serious. He said he was looking for a straight male to essentially get married to him so they can share the benefits of marriage. The problem with that dude is, bro, you said you have 7 kids. You are not a benefit to anybody to marry because if you get into child support debt, that ultimately falls on the marriage. So what happens is if another man is making a lot of money and the IRS hits your bank account or hit your so-called tax refund check or anything like that, you as a husband to another husband are going to fuck that man, even though you didn't intend to have sex. So I would caution you men who would decide to say, you know what, bro, let's protect our asses together because we can do this, we can do that. No, you can't, bro. No, you can't. A scammer's gonna be a scammer and a hustler's gonna be a hustler. That's what that is. But let's keep it on where we at with it. Ladies, for the ones that's here, I gotta ask you this question, right? Have you given a man that you are with your best you? Ladies, have you allowed yourself to walk around not with your head down or anything, just walk around with an upbeat tone and everything like that? If a man says, hey, how you doing? You say, hey man, how you doing? Have a good day. I'm curious, right? When is it that men are going to be able to court anymore? When are men going to be able to court anymore? Because it used to be the pickup artist society, the PUAs, right? The pickup artists. And then what ends up happening is these pickup artists had the men that some of these men actually were on with this goddamn stupid ass research. And they were giving them the game. They were giving them competency because competence leads to confidence. There's unconscious incompetence, which means you're doing something wrong and you don't know that you're doing it wrong. Then it's conscious competence. Conscious incompetence, pardon me, where you know you're doing something wrong now. Then there's conscious competence, where you know what to do, but you gotta think about it. Then unconscious competence, where you just basically know how to do it. You ain't even gotta think about it. Think of it like this: like a kid who didn't know his shoes were untied. So he's walking around and his shoes are just hanging like spaghetti strings. That right there is unconscious incompetence. He doesn't know there's anything wrong. Then once you, hey, yo, Junior, your shoes is untied. My shoes. Whoa, I didn't know that. Now, that's conscious incompetence, meaning he knows there's a problem now. He just don't know how to fix it, which then you teach him how to do this stuff. Once you teach him, he still has to look down and tie his shoes. That's conscious competence, where he still got to look down. Now, if I told you for $100, just tie your shoes, all you have to do is boom, boom, boom. That's unconscious competence. See how that works? But see, what was happening was these women were going, hold on. He's not a stud. He's not a this. He's a virgin. He's a computer engineer. He had to learn all this stuff within the last year or two. I've been a gorgeous woman my whole entire teenage year to my adulthood. The boys always wanted me. I'm with the loser. He doesn't have the big the big social media backing. Ew. And that's what happened. Now, the pickup artist community, bro, I'm pretty sure is dying, if not dead. Because we can't walk up any. Well, I do. I don't give a shit. I still walk up on women. If I think you're gorgeous and I see your ass walking, I'm on you. Granted, I know how to walk up and talk to women though. There's a difference. But I'm just letting y'all know, bro. Women, y'all gotta understand. Now we will do like a whole bunch of stuff. We got Men's Week next week, so this will be all about the men. Women, you are more than welcome to sit through these ones. But I'll keep it authentic with you. The articles like that right there are only built to say, screw the guys, you're the prize. We've been taught for a long time that, hey, happy wife, happy life. When in all candor, the man should be in servitude to his wife and the wife should be in servitude to her husband. But we lost that. Why did we lose that? Because we allowed the vocal minorities to speak out so much. And then what? Now, do I know an individual who put his hands on a woman before? Absolutely. Did we fuck him up? Yeah. Or did we cut him off? Yes, we did. But the majority of men ain't running around punching on women. The majority of men ain't running around trying to sexually do anything to y'all without your permission. The majority, but the vocal minorities are the ones where now we got to go and misinterpret a whole bunch of shit. Y'all got to remember, Me Too, as good as it was for some, started making women question a whole bunch of stuff. Remember the Indian guy, the whatever Isuzu guy or whatever the hell his name is, where this woman came up to his room. They provided oral sex on each other. Aziz Ansari. There we go. Thank you, Speed. I appreciate that. Aziz Ansari. They went up to his room. She came up there herself. She went down on him. He went down on her. That was that. They didn't screw each other, anything like that. She leaves and she says, damn, I don't think I should have did that. He's like, whoa. I wouldn't want you to feel uncomfortable or anything like that. Because he knows if he would have said, well, what part you didn't like? The part where you sucked me off or the part where I came in your throat? Because I can eat some pineapples next time. He didn't say that last part or that other part. But he knew what to say. The media took that and basically bashed the man. for a woman basically saying, I'm having second thoughts, which y'all all do. Even men have second thoughts. Like, damn, bro. Shit. I hope it don't get out I fucked her. Whew, boy, if it get out, I hit that. I don't want to be Ray J in this. I don't want to be I hit it, I hit it, I hit it first. I don't want to be that one. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. No, not her. Not her. Not up the block, up the block, up the block. No, 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 no. And those be the women who end up with kids where you go, who hitting that? Ain't nobody finna be. I volunteered. That was me. That was me, bro. Yep. Caught your boy slipping. You even got it to the point where women know how to entice their sexuality so well. You got so-called lesbian women just had babies with Fredo Bang. These women is married. They technically cheated on each other with a man. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't believe, me personally, I don't believe women are as ill as they say because they all got that one guy they would go straight for. But neither here nor there. Ladies, let me ask you a question. Do you want to grow old and lonely and essentially run your bag up, which statistically speaking, a very wide majority of you will not any goddamn ways, where your best memories are with your girlfriends and everything like that? You ain't never got hit on a beach or something like that, or bent over on a balcony, had great shower sex, or came home one day. This dude decided to clean up the house and possibly order the right food and put on the right candles, the right scent, had the champagne going and fucked the shit out you that night. Do you not want that? Is that not appealing? To the fellas who feel like giving up on women, can I ask you a question? Does your hand speak? Do the video games really bring that much pleasure? It can't hurt that much being rejected. I get it, bro. I understand this part of saying that there's no good women out there, but there's a lot of women in hiding as well. They don't know how to see. Women don't get it. These days, ladies, y'all got to shoot your shot because the men don't want to get embarrassed. Do you know how stupid a lot of these men look when they go ahead and say, hey, gorgeous, how you doing? My name is Johnny Rebel, and I would like to take you out on a date. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, FU emoji, all this stuff. Screenshot, put it out there. Look at this loser ass dude. And then watch everybody start to excoriate his ass. All because he had the balls to say, hey, what's going on, gorgeous? What if he would have just jumped in the inbox? What's up, bitch? You trying to get something to eat? After that, I might try to fuck you. I might not, depending on my time schedule. We try to get, as a society that's pushed this dumbass narrative of men need to be old school traditional ways. Right, right. You want an old school man. Gotcha. But the women, they can't be old school though. Let me ask all y'all who have cars. If you have a Prius, right? Does your Prius take the 1972 car parts? Are there any parts that are interchangeable with any of the 90 cars in your Priuses? The early 2000 cars? No. See, the compatibility doesn't work. Things have changed. So I want to ask you ladies who want the old school men, are you an old school woman? Do you respect yourself to realize if you got a picture with a whole bunch of men and they ain't your family members, your biological family members, that you slight way look like a hoe? Do y'all realize that the older you get women, you're supposed to be more humble, supposed to be more gracious? Because eventually, when that face wrinkles from all the Stuff y'all put on your face, you gotta wake up every morning and add more stuff and all this shit and everything. And I'm not saying it doesn't do something for you psychologically. I get it. But what I'm asking y'all is a simple question. Can you value a person complimenting you? Now, I would tell every man on here, please stop calling women sexy. Please stop doing that shit. I have been preaching this I've been preaching that message since 2012. Bruh, fellas, please stop calling women sexy. For the love of God, stop doing it. Drop the Y. This is all they hear. Just drop the letter Y in that, and all they hear is that. What is sexy supposed to mean exactly? But that'll be more on Men's Week. I appreciate you all, man. If you can, man, share this with 5 people. And if you are one of the 5 people who somebody shared this with, they absolutely give a damn about you. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's been a pleasure. In about an hour, we'll be going live from the other channel, but we didn't climb up to 4K on here. I want to say to everybody who made a diss video towards me this last week for the stuff I got on with Hassan Campbell, please try harder. Please try harder. Because this right here is my second channel, and it's killing y'all in the numbers. Love you all, man. We Men's Week next week, fellas. Show up, tune in. Hey, if you need your pencil or whatever, or you're gonna hear this after the live stream. Matter of fact, I might do it that way. I might not make it a live stream. I might just make videos for the early morning, and then we get into it. But I don't know if I should start double posting on this channel. But I'll catch you on the next one.